All the students pursue their education with the aim of getting a good placement. To get a good placement, performing well in an interview is essential. There are many students who become successful, whereas many become failure also. But if they know certain techniques of how to appear for interview, what are their expectation, how to perform during interview, after interview, and before interview preparation, if they know certain techniques, absolutely it may aid them to perform well and to land in their expected dream job. So today I'll be telling you a detailed information about the how to attend interview and what are their expectation, body language, and the how to prepare yourself before interview, during interview, after interview. All those things I'll give you a detailed what you call explanation. The only important thing is you have to watch from the beginning to till the end, so that you'll get a lot of detailed information to perform well in your interview. Come, let's get started. Are you going to be a graduate, or are you going to be an educated person? Because it's an important question. All of you just to type the difference between a graduate and educated person in the comment box, and I'll tell you the answer the answer at the end of this lecture, because this is going to make all the difference. How? You could have heard certain news that some students, even though they are not studious, they get selected in the interview, whereas some students, they are very good at in all the activities, sometime they may not be selected in an interview. Then they may get frustrated. You should have heard about these dialogues from your seniors or whoever it may be. Why? How does it happen? Then what are we supposed to do? Then you may have a question, but if you know the answer for this difference between graduate and educated person, that myth will be easily busted. Clear? And you write the difference in the comment box. I'll tell you the answer at the end. Okay. If you want to do the answer properly before you want to answer it, you need to do a SWOT analysis. Whatever strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. If you know all these things, probably you may understand the next question. If you are a boss of the company, what will you expect from a job applicant? Now assume you are a boss. You recruit, you are sitting in the recruitment. The candidates are appearing for interview. What will you expect from them to recruit? Kindly think about it. Write down your expectation. Take up maybe 30 seconds. Just write down your expectation. As a boss, what will you expect from them? Write it down. Yeah. So you can, once you write down all the expectation, later you can post those things in the comment box again. First one, you have to post what's the difference between educated person and a graduate. Second one is, what will you expect from a candidate as a boss of a company? Now, let us get into the original thing, how to prepare for an interview, because these two things have a high relevance in this presentation. Those things I'll tell you at the end of my lecture. Okay, so roadmap of my presentation, I'll be covering what do they expect, what interviewers expect from a candidate, dress code for interview, body language, and what kind of attitude you need to exhibit, what are the evaluation criteria, and how will they select you, frequently asked question and tactics to manage those things, and general etiquette in the interview. Got it? So first thing, let's see before interview. Before you go for any interview, these are the things you have to be really careful about it. And first thing, you should research about the organization, a company which you are going to apply, which you are going to appear for an interview. You need to know about the company well. Probably first one source is absolutely the company's authentic website. You can go and check it up, and other reports, newspaper reports, if anything is available, you can read it. And the third important thing, you can talk to an employee of a particular company. Sir, how do we know the employee? In case you are studying in a college, your seniors are working in that particular company, you may talk to them about their work nature and other thing, about you get some information about the company, because this information will help you in different stages of interview, and I'll be telling you how those things are going to be helpful then and there. So this is the first thing you have to do before in interview. Second thing, prepare set of frequently asked interview questions and prepare question as well as answer, and you need to practice those answers also, how you have to answer them. What other way you can practice? Probably you can take a mobile phone, just you can record your interview, as you are answering the interview, you have to assume. When you can record, you can check your body language, how you are answering. Are you clear? Are you just you are beating around the bush? Are you are giving wrong answer? Everything you can check it up. So you do, this is the very important practice before you go for the interview. And once you are done with this recording and checking, then you can attend as many number of possible mock interviews. Probably the colleges sometime they may arrange. Otherwise, even you can sit, you and your friends along with the team, you yourself can conduct mock interviews, and you can one of you can behave as an interviewer, other can behave as an interviewee, and let him ask question, you answer them, finally get the feedback, and later the same way you can change the role and you keep doing this thing. This will help you. And very importantly, before you go for interview, you should, if you have a thorough preparation, see, if you prepare and thoroughly and you have practiced thoroughly, and it would aid you to calm down your nerves, because otherwise you will become so anxious about the interview, and you will be really worried about how you are going to perform, what question they'll ask, and you will have so many questions will keep lingering in your mind that may not be really good to attend the interview in a calm way. So make sure that thorough preparation and making sure that you are going in a very composed way, that will help you. And probably one more suggestion I would give you, generally do not prepare till the last minute of the interview. And second thing, before you go for interview, you can probably, if you have water, you can take water or take long breath for maybe 2 to 3 times, so that you may feel cool and you can chillax, right? That will be the next one. And you should polish your image. Here it is not a physical image, it's a mental as well as physical image both. So you have to be really clear about what you are going to answer, how you are going to project your personality. All those things has to be in a clear way. You have to decide what tone. So here, can you create some artificial personality? No. Be honest as much as possible, because it's very essential. If you give some lies, and obviously you will get caught. So better you always give honest answer. That will be better always to steal the show in the interview. And very importantly, if I tell you, you will be surprised. Many students, they fail in interview only because they are unable to answer the basics question, the subject basics. In case if it is a technical interview, your subject basics core knowledge they will ask you must be able to answer it. And if it is HR also, some basic stuff about your leadership skill and your personality, attitude. If you are unable to answer those questions, if you do not give convincing answer to those questions, obviously the chances are very minimal for you to get selected. So be strong in your basics. Next comes interview day. During interview, this is what first thing what I have to do in the interview, make a good first impression. The good first impression is very essential to create a positive vibe about you to the interviewers. In case the first impression itself you have created a bad impression, then obviously however you answer, everything will go wrong. So please make sure that you create a very good first impression. How would you create a first impression? There are 2 ways. The way you enter the interview hall, the way you sit, the way you greet them, the way you answer your first question. Within these things, they'll form a first impression. So the way you enter, sit and answer the first question itself, they'll try to understand you. Most of the 40%, they'll get some what you call essay about you. So make sure that these things are very crucial time. So don't create any negative image in this particular period, and make sure that you give it very cool and composed answer. For that, I would recommend you, I will show you the demonstration at the end of the video, how the body language has to be in the interview, during interview. As of now, you enter the hall properly, just knock the door, get the permission, go to the hall and get their permission, sit properly, and if they greet you, you greet them, and they offer the handshake, you give the handshake, you do a firm handshake, then you take your seat and you can take your first question, you can answer. But how to do a firm handshake and eye contact, all those things, I'll show you the demo at the end of the lecture. So this is one will help you absolutely to create some good impression. Second thing, answer the right questions in more what you call what do you say, the right questions for you. If in case you know the one question very well, and those questions you choose it, try to give a very convincing answer for those questions, since those questions are known to you. So try to give a very good answer. You can project your personality through that particular answer that you are a really knowledgeable person, or you have a very good attitude. So when you answer the right questions, here right and wrong questions, there is no fixed right and wrong questions. Probably you can have it as known question and unknown question. When you answer for a known question, so be very confident, obviously, and be clear, and don't be overconfident. That's very important. Somebody, when the moment they get their known question means something they will be able to answer it properly, they'll become overconfident. So that's very bad. So be very careful, answer it in a very composed way. And next thing, in case sometime you do not understand the question, what they are asking, nothing wrong in it, ask them to repeat, ask them to say it again. And you confirm otherwise you can confirm, you can paraphrase the question in your own words. Do you mean to say that I need to talk about my weakness? So, for instance, they are asking about your weakness, you didn't understand. That time you can rephrase the question to confirm it. Do you mean to say about my weakness? So then they say yes, then you can go ahead. So here I have given only example. You have to, based on the question, whatever you have not understood, you rephrase, paraphrase and confirm it, otherwise ask them to repeat. And don't never answer the question, because some people will answer the question in a wrong way, because when you misunderstand the question, even your answer may be perfectly correct, but that may not be relevant to the question. That's what's the point, because you misunderstood some way, but they asked some other question, even though in your opinion your answer is correct, because you already misunderstood. So even though if it is correct, it's of no use. So be very careful and confirm the question, then answer it. And you have to maintain a very positive, polite, composed, assertive tone. The way you answer the question, you have to make sure that it reflects your positive attitude, your knowledge and other thing. Don't never be, maintain aggressive tone. Don't be arrogant. Don't be probably so overconfident. Be very confident is always very good, but overconfident is very bad. So be very careful on this thing. Your tone has to be right. Pay attention to your body language, how you sit, how you use your hands, how you use your eye contact. All these things matter much, and I'll show you the demo at the end. But you have to pay attention to these body languages, so that these are the things going to give some extra information beyond what you talk. So that should give only positive information, that should not give negative information. So with this, probably once the interview is over, they may give you a chance to ask questions. That time, make sure that you ask some meaningful question. Do not ask them any embarrassing question. Do not ask any personal question. Always ask questions which are related to the growth. You can ask questions like that. What kind of personal growth opportunities are available in the company? What are the company's future expansion plan? What are the new technologies company they are deployed right now? These type of questions you can ask. That's what I already told you in the before interview. If you have researched about the company properly, if you know about the company clearly, some information you can make use of it to form a question, some meaningful question. And because here you are showing to the interviewers that you have already known about the company, their work nature, their style and other thing. So in that way, you have to project what you call your question should reflect those things. So next comes to the dress code for interview. And any interview, always it should be a clean pressed suit is the best way to go. If it is not a suit, you can go with a normal pant shirt. That you can go with a shirt and slack. That's more than enough. And suit is not compulsory. And very important thing is, if you use the suit, and make sure that everything complement each other. Don't go with the contrast color. Go with the color which complements everything. And if you wear a tie with white, blue, that will be better one for the light colored shirt that complements the suit. And if you don't use it, probably dark color pant and white or light color shirt is always desirable for interview. Dark color pant and light color shirt, probably white, gray, something, whichever you find right, you can go ahead. And in terms of shoes, means you have to use either black or brown shoes only. No other color, no other any other brand. Don't use any fashion designing shoes and all. Please avoid. Very professional, normal black or brown shoes only you have to use. And socks, it would be better if you wear a dark socks. It's not a very big deal, but still it should probably it should match with the shoe you wear. And some other do's, we just will continue from the thing. Do wear clean ironed cloths. Already we said ironed cloths. Make sure that there are no stains in the cloth. And very important thing, this is very, very important. Do empty your pockets. You have to empty your pockets before you go there, because there should not be any bulging objects, probably key or something, you have a coin, something, it may create some sound, tinkling sound. All those things have to be careful. So you remove everything, completely empty your pocket before you go to the interview. Well, only thing you can have is handkerchief. That's it. Don't have anything else. And the another thing what you should avoid, here I have simply mentioned about these colors. Don't use any bright colors in the in the dresses. Very bright, dashing colors avoid. And same way, dashing probably accessories also you have to avoid in the interview. And always make sure that you wear a button shirt. Do not leave any button open, and do not show your chest, because if it is for boys, whoever it may be, and make sure that all the entire buttons are completely buttoned up. That's very important. And do wear a tie, that already we discussed. And what are the things you are not supposed to do? That's what already I have given even a light clue in the previous slide also. Don't wear loud, bright colors such as green, reds, and purples. These type of things please avoid. And don't wear sports clothes with emblem. Don't have, even you may be a fan of certain teams. Do not have any such kind of clothes for the interview. And avoid clothing with large designer labels also. And don't wear jeans and t-shirts for interview. And make certain that it is knotted firmly, not loosely around the shirt collar. That's very important, because sometimes people don't do it properly. So these things please make a very important care. Take care. And do wear traditional daytime fabrics. Don't wear something like satin and leather kind of jacket or a shirt, something. Please avoid all these things. You should use only very traditional formal cotton material or any silk, something which is very formal only you have to use that. And accessories, what are the accessories you can do's and don'ts? You can, it is not accessory, but in terms of shoes, you wear a clean, conservative and polished shoes. And make sure that you polish your shoes, it shines well, very important. And do wear complimentary and stylish ties if you wear it, otherwise leave it. And do not wear more than 2 rings. In case you wear rings, make sure that you can have only 1 ring in a particular hand. not more than one ring. Somebody used to have 5 rings in 5 fingers. No, those type of things please avoid. And don't wear any body piercing paraphernalia, for example, earrings, nose rings, or eyebrow rings. Please, absolutely, you have to remove all these things. Don't wear any baseball caps or sunglasses, and don't wear athletic shoes, no matter how clean and new, how superb. No, absolutely it is no. And don't wear earrings. If you normally wear one during the interview time, you can take it out. After the interview, probably after joining the company, there is no problem, then you can wear it, but during interview, better avoid it. Don't wear sandal, absolutely. You have to, this is another thing, don't wear too much of chains and necklaces and all this stuff. Any gold jewelry, please kindly avoid. And do not have any religious prone accessories, very important. Don't have any God showing some accessories, some chain or ring, something is there. No, please avoid it, because you should be a secular person in the interview. Don't, even though you belong to particular religion, do not show your religious affiliation in terms of any accessories you wear, either chain or a ring or something else. Even in the forehead also, don't wear any religious mark as a something kind of mark. Don't use it. Very important, because they'll be expecting you to be a very secular. You can't promote any kind of religion there. And body language, in terms of body language, first thing, you have to maintain a good eye contact in the interview. There may be a single interview or panel of interviewers. So whoever asks you a question, make sure that you are looking at them and you maintain eye contact and you answer the question. In case it's a very lengthy answer, probably you can give your majority of your eye contact can be with the person who asked you the question, but then and there you have to look at the other persons also, because they should not feel they are isolated. They are simply you have just ignored them. And next thing, as already told you, that you have to offer a firm handshake, not a weak handshake, and make sure that you offer a very firm handshake, and sit comfortably but confidently in your chair. Very important. You have to sit at most comfort and confidently in your chair. I'll show you these things as I'll show you as a demonstration at the end of the presentation. And wear a smile. Please always answer the question with a smiling face. And very important, don't be very moody and don't be very tensed. Be cool. See, when you wear a smile, it means that you are cool and composed. That will give a very positive note about you to the interviewer. And stay in control of your arms and legs, even if you are nervous. Sometimes the arms will shiver, or even legs will get shiver because of the anxiety. But make sure that it is not shown abruptly in the interview. Try to control it. I'll show you the demo at the end, all these things. Try not to play with items in your hands, or touching your nose or a face or something unnecessarily. Somebody will have some kind of habit to do something. They'll be adjusting their handcuff button or a dress button. They'll adjust the dresses, or if it is a female, they may adjust some kind of their salwar, other things. Do not do any such kind of specific body behavior in the interview. And you see, you may have the nervousness, but only thing you have to control it. Don't show it abruptly. That's it. So if you do this, and you'll be able to manage the thing. But what are the selection yardsticks in general? This is the way generally they mark your performance. First 30% is competence and ability. Can you do the job? That's what they'll check. They'll check your competence. All the assessment will be based on your competence, and they'll test those things. 30%. Another 20% is willingness and enthusiasm. Will you do the job? Will you be really interested? Will you be interested to do this job? Will you take up some challenges? And they'll check all these, your enthusiasm and the interest and the attitude, all those things they'll check in the 20% yardstick level. Another 50% they'll check, it's called what you call good chemistry. Can you fit into the organization? Even though you may be absolutely very good, but you don't fit into the organization expectation, then you are gone. That's what I already told you, that you should research the organization. Accordingly, you to customize your answer, you have to fine tune your answer. You should prove in the interview that you are a right fit to the company. So you definitely, your chemistry will match with the company requirement. That way you need to prove yourself in the interview. These are the general selection yardsticks. But within this, they'll have some other rubrics to assess your competence, enthusiasm, and chemistry. But within this only, the entire yardsticks, general yardstick selection yardstick will revolve. And how to succeed, a very simple tip, because if I want to talk detail, it will take a lot of time. So I'll tell you, first thing is one, preparation. Prepare thoroughly, then practice through recording your interview and attending a lot of as many as interviews possible. Then you can do the mock interviews. You can attend mock interviews. See, the practice can be individual as well as mock interview, and get the feedback from the practice interview as well as the mock interviews, and try to update based on the input, based on the feedback. If you do all these things, absolutely you can crack the interview. And now after the interview, please kindly follow up. And even if you are offered the job or not offered the job, if you have the access to their email ID, please kindly write a mail to them, and just you tell them that you attended an interview, it was a really good experience. And the companies may not provide feedback, but possibly you can ask them provide a feedback. But do not ask such kind of feedback once the interview is over. Immediately don't ask them. They will not tell you. Clear? And frequently asked interview questions. So I have given here 3 questions, but I have done a detailed video about how to answer the frequently asked HR questions. You watch that video, that will help you a lot, because technical question I cannot give frequently asked question because it will vary department to department. But HR question is going to be common whatever the department you belong to, it is going to be the same. But technical question, basic question, you have to be clear based on your subject. For that, I would advise you be strong in your area of interest, strong in your project and core subjects which you have studied in your degree program. All those things, be strong. That's for technical. HR interviews, there are, for example, tell me something about yourself. And for these things, do not just repeat what you have given in the resume. Be ready with the answer where you will prove that you are the best fit to the company, and you should project certain skills, how you are unique, how you are better than the other candidate. In those things you have to tell them. I would strongly and recommend you to prepare answer for this. Tell about yourself. I would recommend you minimum spend 10 days time to write the answer, rewriting, do a lot of revisions, make till you get a perfect answer. You keep rewriting. Finally, once everything is done, then you can prepare the same. You can use the same thing for all the interviews. But again, this should be customized based on the company requirement, because one company you may attend the core job, another company interview you may attend the software job or some other job, or some other company you may attend the managerial job. So according to the job nature, you need to slightly modify. Not the entire thing you can modify, slightly you can modify so that you fit into the particular requirement, job requirement. And next thing, these are the something like where do you want to be in 5 years, and you have to be very frank. You have to tell them clearly based on the company's opportunity and where you will be able to reach at after the 5 years. You can tell that will be your ambition. And why should they hire you? You have to tell them that if your skill set and the requirement, everything is as per the company requirement, then they may hire you. Or you can tell them that I possess all the skill sets which are required to fulfill this job. So for that reason, you can hire me. In that way, you can answer. But all my answers are not a fixed answer. These are the way, but you can add your own creative, probably your ideas also. But make sure that the tone should not be different what I have given here. And if you do all these things well, and absolutely you will be hired, 100% you will be hired. And but even if you do not get hired, don't worry. In interview, only 2 things can happen: either selection or rejection. If you get rejected, don't worry, you may get selected in some other good company. Because I have seen in my experience, students got rejected in a small company, then finally they landed into very big companies with a very big offers. So, but you always make sure that you give 100% and don't worry about the result, because you can't do anything. Only you have to give 100%. That's it. In case you have not given 100%, you correct it and make sure that you are giving 100%. But you have given 100%, then don't worry about any other outcome. Whatever it come, let it come, and you have to face it. In case you are selected, fine. Rejected means think about what you made mistakes and correct it, then perform well in the next interview. Got it? Okay, now let me show you the demonstration about how to the body language. Just let me open my cam. See, first thing what you have to do is you have to sit straight, because my chair is not fully visible. You have to make sure that you sit straight. Your legs should be, the stand apart. You have to feet apart and place it on the floor. And the very important thing, your spine should be erect. I don't think whether I am completely visible, but you check, you should state this is the one way. And make the second thing, and when you go to the particular chair, and you have to make sure that you go to your butt has to reach the end of the chair, so that you will not lean backward. Otherwise, if you sit in somewhat leaning forward like this, look at that, the body is not straight. Or if you lean backward, you can see the body is not in a straight position. But when I sit straight like this, you can see my entire body is in a proper angle, number one. Number two, I use different body language. First thing, I have to maintain eye contact. So if you are the interviewer, then I should look at you straight away, then I should talk. In case other person is there, I need to look at there, or somebody else is there, then I look. So sometimes I need to make sure that I revolve my eyes, a slow pace, not in the like looking like this and all. No, not somebody. No, there are three people. No, should I look like this? No, not like that. Simply make sure that you comfortably you look at everybody. And next important thing is you have to be very careful about your hand movements. See, I'm using my hands. You are seeing that. See, you can use like probably you can see, don't have the hands like this. It should not be separated. It should be attached together. Either you can have this or you can have like this. Otherwise, you keep your hands on your laps. Otherwise, just you keep it on the table, because I have a table here. I said I'm keeping, but in front you will have the table. You can have like this, or you can have like this. You can have it. This is where you have to do. And another thing, when you keep the files, whatever you have, make sure that you do not place, you do not encroach the interviewer's space. You should space it within a half a feet distance. Whatever is space available, you have to keep it there. There is no table means keep it on your lap, or otherwise even you can keep it down. Correct? And another important thing, when you use the hands, see, you can see that I am using my hands, but my hand will never move beyond my shoulder point. This is my body proximity. Within this proximity only I should use, but I cannot use. See, I am very good at in this, that. So that time the hand should not go like this. So, for example, I am very good at in computers. I am very good at in Python. I can do programming, and I am very extremely good at in Java also. In case when you say like that, within this only it should go. You should not go, I am very good at Java. No, don't wide open your hands. Just you should be like this. Slightly it can go slightly away, but most probably it should be within this, so that it will be very convenient for them to assess you, to check you. And another important thing, when you speak to them, make sure that modulation is clear, and you give a proper pauses, and you pronounce the words also clearly. Those things have to make a note. And at the end, what you have to do is the way you answer the question, the tone. See, I don't like this. See, this is a very kind of aggressive, very irritating tone. See, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And definitely, if I know the answer, I'll be able to answer it, but I'm not very sure about the answer. This is maybe a positive tone. I don't know the answer. I'm not sure. This is very feeble answer. Don't do anything. See, be very gentle. If you know the answer, answer them. If you do not know, simply say that I'm sorry, I don't know this. I have not come across this. In that way, you have to say. And if you say no to every question, then obviously you will be rejected. But if you say only one or two questions no, or you don't know, nothing wrong, because with that question alone, they are not going to decide. There are series of questions asked to you. So based on your answer, how you have given, they'll check, but only one question will not decide. But make sure that reasonable question, if you say that you don't know, really it's a tough question, no, fine. But they are asking very easy question, but you say that what's your ambition? You say that I don't know. So where will you see after 5 years? I don't have no idea. Then you are gone. because these are the basic questions you should know definitely. If you are unable to answer these questions, then you are gone. So please make sure that whatever I have given in this particular video, try to follow it, and definitely this will be an important tool. I don't say that it will 100% help you. It is an aid tool. How much you practice, that will help you to get selected. Now come back. In the initial, I asked you to comment on the two things. The difference between, are you an educated person or a graduate person? I hope you have commented. The actual answer is educated person, the person who possesses the knowledge to call himself as a graduate. See, you assume that you are a mechanical engineering student. Do you, after the end of the day, after getting the degree, do you possess the knowledge which required to be a mechanical engineer? Then you are an educated person. And apart from that subject knowledge, have you learned some other skills, soft skills also? And you have what you call that stage of maturity, have you achieved to call yourself as a graduate? Then you are an educated person. But simply you have a degree, you don't know, you don't have skills, you don't know the proper knowledge, but you have a marks, wonderful marks. Marks can be scored by anybody. That knowledge cannot be acquired by everybody. Only the mark with knowledge is essential. Only mark you can't do anything, because if it is mark is the only criteria, means why should they conduct interview? Directly based on the mark they can recruit. That's why I already told you that why somebody even with the good marks they are not selected, because they are not educated person. They are simply a graduate. They'll have gold medal, but they don't have the knowledge. Absolutely, they are gone. But educated person, even though he has a very limited percentage, probably 75 or 80 or something less than that, but he showcases high skill in high skills in the interview, then he will be selected. So be very important about this thing. So you must be an educated person, not a mere graduate, because in India we have so many lakhs and lakhs of graduates, very limited educated person. If only when you emerge as an educated person, definitely nobody can deny you the job. Either this company or other company, you will get a job. But if you are a graduate, nowhere you will get a job. So be clear. If you want to be an educated person, you should learn the things really. You should not study anything for the name's sake. You should not study anything for the degree's sake. The last question I asked you, one more question. If you are a boss, will you select what are the things you will expect from the company? So here it's a subjective answer. Every one of us will have a different expectation. But now check, you have definitely listed some expectation from a candidate for your company. Now check whether do you have all those skills within you. Now, you are expecting something from your employee. Now check. Now you come to the role of a student and an interviewee. Check whether do you have those skills. If you have those skills, fine. But already you know that you want certain skills, but you do not have those skills, then how will you get selected in interview? So make sure that you have all the required skills, you are preparing yourself to the required level, then absolutely nobody can deny you the job. Job is 100% assured. But make sure that you possess the required skills. I hope this particular lecture will be really useful to you. If you find it useful, share it to your friends. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.